One of the biggest pitfalls we find amongst Colorado business owners is that there is a struggle between the emotional decision-making and the logical decision-making. And today we're going to talk about how to address that issue. So we love to talk to business owners about recognizing how they make decisions, and really understanding how you make decisions is super critical in your long-term success as a business owner, as a homeowner, as just a consumer in general, right? And it's funny because when we really realize, how many decisions are made from an emotional standpoint, it really is the root of how a lot of financial issues come into play. And we like to help people determine their system for making logical financial decisions. And I think that's something that gets overlooked quite a bit. And so today, I think it's a good idea for us to just really share, when you think about purchasing a car, for example, we've all owned a car, we've all owned a crappy car, possibly, and a lot of us have owned really nice cars as well. But, if you walk into a dealership, this is our experience at least, you've got a sales guy on the other side, and his focal point is to figure out how he can make you fall in love with something. And
look at the leather.
Yeah, the leather, the amazing sound system, and they focus on the features and not focusing on the financial components of it. But when you walk into a decision knowing your financials, you have that much more confidence. So how do you, what we like to do with our clients is really help them be prepared for those financial decision-making instances before they actually are in those positions. And that's something that, it's hard when we have to work backwards from that, where they've made the decision and we're like, oh shoot, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. But
it's the most important component though. Right? You have to take the emotion away.
Right.
And guess what, guys? If it's an emotion internally, it's an emotion you have to work on within. And if it's a marriage or a couple, you're gonna dive deep into some deep conversations, and you're gonna have some real serious conversations. But I want this car, but I don't. I don't want this payment, but I'm okay with this payment. I'm gonna get a raise, but there ain't no raise yet. So, the emotion behind it. So, once you can dive deep and get that emotion out of the way, it just makes all decisions a lot better. It makes all decision making for in all areas of your finances, whether you're buying a house, you're buying a car, you're buying a hotel, buying any investment, whatever you're doing, So,
and in our relationship, I would like to say that I believe you're the more emotional, impulsive type buyer, decision maker, and I'm the more structured and more methodical buyer. I like to do the numbers. And when I remind Raul to do the numbers, he's amazing at the numbers. So that's sometimes I just have to slow you down a little bit and go, hold on, we didn't do the math on this, or we're getting ahead of our math. We said our math was this, and you're jumping the gun from the math, And so the math is key.
But there's nothing wrong with that, right? Again, it goes back to that's part of marriage. It's part of relationship, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Me going, I see an opportunity, let's go. And Felicia's like, she'll stop the honk, hit the brakes, and she's like, wait, hold on. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And then we talk about it, we dive deep about it, and then we share our emotion and how we feel, and then we come to a conclusion, and then we make a decision. And that's how we make most of our decisions.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. But, to take 10 minutes away, and even when you find yourself in a highly emotional circumstance, taking a time out and just going, you know what, I need to step away and pull out your handy dandy calculator and just do some quick math and go, wow, I'm pretty emotional. I'm not going to do this right now. This didn't align with the math. But I think that knowing what kind of buyer you are, or what kind of decision maker you are, is the number one key thing to recognize. And then if you are in a relationship or you're a partnership, speaking from a business standpoint, what kind of consumer or buyer is your business partner or your spouse?
That's right.
And understanding the psychological components between those things is really key in success. So yeah, determining whether you're an emotional or logical buyer requires a system. And if you'd like to know more about our system, we're gonna be doing an actual video where we're diving deep into the system that Raul and I have found works best for us. So check that out in the future. But in the meantime, if you'd like to come sit with us to talk about that system on a more personal level, please use the link below to book a session with Raul and I.